Kia ora, my name's Gareth and welcome to my second little video for my little lockdown learnings. You might be wondering what's on the piece of paper here in front of you today, and I'll explain as we go through. Now just be aware that I'm a coach, I'm not an artist, as you may have already picked up. So today I'm just going to talk a little bit about some sort of brain activation, introduce the idea, if you haven't heard it, of something called growth mindset, and just look at how we can utilize one of our most powerful functions in our body, which is the brain, to our advantage, whether it be training as a sailor, whether it be training as a coach, whether you're going into a regatta, world-class regatta, world champs, or just your local club race. And this stuff's going to help for coaches and sailors. So keep watching, and I'll try and make this nice and simple, nice and short. That's the idea of these little learnings, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to start with a little bit of the brain activation stuff. Let's talk about a typical day. So a typical day if we're going to training, for example, and the most likely scenario. So you go to school, or the sailor goes to school. That might be high school, might be primary school. It could be a range of things. They could be at work all day. That's cool. They come down to your yacht club after work, after school, and they want to come and learn something. They want to come sailing. They want to come and learn something. Now, they've had 8 hours already, 10 hours already of just packing their brain full of lots of stuff. Okay, so over those 8 hours they've been at school, and you've got heaps of stuff going on. Okay, it's just all this stuff that's going on in your head. And now, as a coach, we're now getting our sailors in and asking them to learn more stuff. We want to pass on more stuff to them. But it's really hard to jam the next little bits into the brain, because there's already a lot of stuff in the heads of both the coaches and the sailors. So how do we get around this, and how do we make a training session, how do we make a regatta really worthwhile? How do we get the brain activation? I've really explored the idea of mindfulness, and the idea is then to try and take this stuff, remove it out of your head, out of your brain, so that it leaves a gap ready for any new information to come into. Quick example, some of you sailors may have been to the Wainui camp, Optimus South Island Clinic, where I was coaching just this last season, and we actually did some of this mindfulness, and I've done it in the past, where in the evenings we lay down on the floor, we listened to a few things, we talked about a few things in a mindful way, and it was a really good way of just slowing down before bed. And I went on a coaching workshop just before lockdown actually, and there was some coaches there, high performance coaches, that have actually just said they were using this mindfulness before training. So if you go back to the typical day, you've come from school or work, and then you come straight into your training, okay, there needs to be some time here in the middle to just slow down or rethink or reset, so that the training becomes valuable. And this is going to look different for each and every one of you. So mindfulness is one of those things. There's plenty of apps out there. There's plenty of sort of all sorts of stuff on the internet. Okay, some of them, I use one called Smiling Mind. There's another one called Calm. There's another one called Headspace. Another option, if you're not really into the mindfulness thing, it could just be a simple routine of stretches. So you might just go and find a space, just sit down and do a routine of stretches, which is actually a really good way of warming up your body and your brain for a training or a race. And this isn't just for the sailors, this is for the coaches as well. So you coaches that turn up and you're just trying to think of the plan on the way, all right? Just maybe turn up 10 minutes earlier, sit down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just reset so that you actually become the best coach that you can be for that training session or that race day, so that you're effective for your sailors. So that's mindfulness. Another option is music. Spotify, okay, YouTube, all right. So you can listen to some music and that might help you. It could be that you've had a bit of a down day, so you actually need some amp up music. It could be that you're already amped up, you just need some calming music just to bring you back down to a mid-range point so that you are ready to learn and you can absorb the new information that your coach or your sailors are giving you and your friends. So that's a bit of the brain activation going into the training. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about another aspect which some of you may have heard of before, and that's called growth mindset. Now it's a principle or a term that's been introduced by a lady called Carol Dweck. Now I've put her name up there so that you can go and Google growth mindset, Carol Dweck, search those two things, and there's lots of information out there that can help you. And a good way of thinking about the growth mindset is that you can be in one of these mindsets. Now we're aiming predominantly for the growth mindset, and if you think of the growth mindset, it's kind of like a tree. Okay, there's lots of different branches, lots of different leaves, and the tree is just going to keep growing in your own brain. All right. The fixed mindset has the idea that you're actually just a bit of a padlock. You're fixed in your mindset. So if we have a quick look. So take a look at this image here. We've got the growth mindset on the left. We've got the fixed mindset on the right. So that tree on the left, the padlock on the right. And the first one there is about embracing the challenge. That's like saying, hey, look, I've got this challenge in front of me. I'm going to give it a go, give it a crack, and learn something out of it. There's a few other bits in there as well. You can see this image on Google, but the one I like is around the learns from failure. So in the growth mindset, yes, we all might fail, we all might struggle with some things, but we're going to learn from it, move forwards, and grow. But in the fixed mindset, you're just going to give up easily. And as coaches, we've probably seen that a fair bit. As sailors, you sure know that the harder you try and don't give up, the further you go, and that certainly helps out the coach as well. All right. So both these principles, so the growth mindset and also the brain activation, I call it brain activation. I think it's a really cool way of just saying, hey, look, let's get our mind into the right space so that we can learn, or get our mind into the right space so that we can coach and learn something from it. And that's where that learning comes into the growth. We're keen to learn, we're keen to grow ourselves so that we can be the best sailor we want to be, or the best coach that we want to be. So if we look at it, if I just summarize that, work out what works for you in terms of the brain activation. There's a couple of apps there. Google it, have a look. There's plenty out there, but it's the idea of just slowing down or speeding up so that you're in the middle range to accept the new knowledge that's coming in. If it's full, you've got no room to accept that new knowledge or the new learnings, or even have the capacity to take on the challenge. With the growth mindset, you're looking for the tree. Okay, you're looking for the tree, and if you want to go find out some more, just Google Carol's name, Carol Dweck, or growth mindset. There's heaps of images, there's heaps of articles, videos, all sorts on there. So make sure you go and check them out. What's next for you though is download one of these. Okay, you're in a perfect time in lockdown. You've got plenty of time, so just spend 10 minutes of the day. Just do a little bit of yoga. See how you feel after it. Listen to some music. See how you feel. Listen to some meditation, mindfulness stuff. See how you feel. Okay, and see how it affects you after that in terms of your ability to learn things and bits and pieces. With the growth mindset, I love to see what you thought or what you think are the differences. So comment below, send me a video, send me a picture, send me a message if you want to, and tell me what you find out. That'd be pretty cool. Until next time, until tomorrow, I'll have a new topic for you. If there's anything you want to hear, make sure that you sing out, let me know, and we'll go from there.